Like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Pickleball and racquetball parallels. Will pickleball stay? As I watch and participate in the dramatic explosion of pickleball in sports culture in the United States in recent years, I can't help but see some parallels in the growth and acceptance of pickleball in mainstream culture, with another racket sport, which enjoyed a similar meteoric rise in this country, racquetball. Both sports have risen in popularity in a short space of time, but as we speak, racquetball is lagging behind nationwide. Racquetball as a competitive sport evolved from a little-known variant of paddleball in the early 1970s, became the country's biggest sporting phenomenon in the late 1970s. The sport caught on as a faster version of paddleball, and began to attract significant interest and demand from players, leading to massive investment in custom facilities, as club operators struggled to build facilities around to satisfy insane demand. Competing governing bodies emerged in the form of the International Racquetball Association and the National Racquetball Club, both vying to control the direction of the sport, and particularly the direction of the pro tours. Celebrities and professional athletes were drawn to the sport, and the covers of National Racquetball magazine of the period featured famous faces monthly. The men's pro tour was dominated by a young, spirited star in Marty Hogan, who went almost unbeaten in the 1976 to 1977 season at the age of 19, and became the sport's brazen face, even starring in an episode of The Superstars. Occurred in February 1980. Consider what we're seeing in pickleball right now. The parallels are quite striking. While I don't have a crystal ball, my opinion is that pickleball is here to stay and not fade away like racquetball, for one main reason: easy access to facilities. A large number of custom pickleball courts are being built in this country. Many of them are in public parks, and those spots aren't going anywhere anytime soon. In places without dedicated courts, players line the pickleball boundaries of existing tennis courts or basketball courts that have been around for decades, and those flat tops aren't going anywhere either. Recreational departments and public schools have maintained these tennis and basketball courts for decades, and now they're suddenly getting a slew of new uses. The barrier to entry for playing pickleball is incredibly simple compared to racquetball. All you need is a flat surface big enough to paint a court, a cheap plastic ball, and a couple of rackets, depending on the private companies that sell indoor courts. Build inexpensive sites per square meter. These pitches are either owned by small companies or large chains, which in many cases prioritize the sport in favor of more dense use of the pitch. Racquetball courts remain in places like universities and, in smaller numbers, existing chains, but they're more of a novelty than a revenue driver, and there aren't enough courts to create large-scale programs. All of these racquetball courts have one thing in common: membership requirements. You generally can't just walk into one of these places and play. You must either pay a monthly membership fee or be a student at a school with courses already built. Now check out pickleball. While there are a few private clubs with courts, there are tens of thousands of public tennis courts that can host pickleball players for free. You don't have to be a member of a $150 a month club to play pickleball. All you need is a flat surface and a net. You can play pickleball indoors or outdoors, in warm and cold weather. There's a second reason for the rise of pickleball and the decline of racquetball, and that's demographics. Racquetball is tough on the body, and players are aging from a competitive standpoint. It's a similar story in tennis, with aging players eventually becoming frustrated with the physical demands of playing a large tennis court.